faster tournament. What do they call it? Turbo.
The turbo.
Said, oh, that can't work because Phil doesn't understand the math. So it's always Phil doesn't understand this, Phil doesn't understand that. Now, the interesting thing is most of the people watching this interview say, oh, well, what is Phil talking about? We all know he's a great player. And that's true because you're really talking about a select few people. Yeah, but it's a little aggravating, but they also motivate me. And so then they also fail to see what I'm doing every year. I mean, in 2019, World Series tournaments, what did I have? I had a 5th, a 6th, a 2nd, a 3rd, and I mean, like there's a handful of people that had those kind of results.
16 catches in 2019.
Yeah. And so, I mean, so whatever. I mean, I think, yes. Does it rub me the wrong way sometimes? Yes. But do I hear those voices every day? No. I mean, sometimes I don't hear somebody criticize me for 40 or 50 or 60 days because I'm not on all the forums. But I'm aware of it. And then when I see it, I'm always a little bit bummed out.
Yeah. If we had a Champions League triple crown of poker, you've won the World Series main event. You've won the World Series Europe main event. What would make up that triple crown? That would be like, those are the 3 that you need to win.
Okay, that would be the 3rd one. It's the Poker Players Championship, the PPC. Yeah. And I had a 2nd in that. And that one really hurt because I had Brian Rastall in 3 times. And to win one of those hands, I guess I was 84%, they said, to have that. And that would have been nice. That would have been an unassailable triple crown.
Yeah. We have got 15 bracelets. Do you need to be stranded on a desert island for people to catch you?
I mean, you've got Phil Ivey who can win 2 or 3 bracelets in a year. You've got Daniel Negreanu who's just like, how many final tables a year does he have? And he has so many seconds. Yeah. Like he and I were battling for, I think I have 12 seconds and he has 11 second places now or something. But he tied me for seconds for 1 minute there. And unfortunately, I had a second over in Europe that I really wanted to be a first. And he was at the final table with me. So there's some people that are just great. Who knows what the future holds for Dominic Nietzsche? Who knows what the future holds for Adrian Mateos? Who knows what the future holds for some of these guys that are there playing all these events. Now, a lot of the young guys don't play all the mixed games, but I think, what do I have? I have 2 bracelets in Raz, and all the rest are in Hold'em anyway. If you're great at Hold'em, you can get there more often because there's more skill.
Out of the 10, 11, 12 second place finishes, and I'm just gonna read. This tweet from yourself was just amazing. Hitting my number 1 life goal at 24 was amazing. By the time I was 28, I had 5 WSOP wins, and a new life goal was to become the greatest poker player of all time. You figured you needed to win 24 bracelets as recognized as the greatest of all time. If all those second places would have been wins, would have got there, but why did you say 24?
24 is a number that kind of like, I don't always have a perfect understanding of, I'd almost say mystical things. You know what I mean? I know that our minds are very powerful, and some of that is kind of untapped and unknown. And, my book Positivity talks about, how I've kind of, harnessed some of that potential, and how other people can harness that potential. And so for me, 24 was a number that I came up with at a young age. And I just thought, I can win 24 bracelets. And I came up with it in 1993, 94. I figured 24 would make me unassailable to the whole world. I remember in 2005 when I passed Johnny Chan and I passed Doyle Brunson, and they both came up and congratulated me. And that was classy, right? We all shook hands. They were all like, great job, Phil.
I had 4 yellows, and I just had a tray of chips. What's your name? Chris John. My name.
Half an hour. No, but yeah. On YouTube. It's on YouTube. For my father. Yeah, do GUKPT on YouTube.
I feel should we have to say that? I definitely have to.
No, so you just put your cards. Yeah, so whenever you have cards, just leave them in the circle. I mean, this one's broken now. Yeah.
In the circle.
Even if you're going to fold, just best thing to do is as soon as you get your cards, just put them in the circle. Okay, players, we are resuming play at 400, 800. 800 players. Fold. Fold. Fold.
See you later, Jim. See you in the morning. Jim's told us that we beat last year's numbers for day 1A.
Oh, that's good news.
Jim told us we beat last year's numbers already for day 1A, which bodes well. I don't think we'll beat Flight B's numbers next year from yesterday, because that was a 284 last year, just for Flight B.
Without the turbo.
Without the turbo.
Oh, wow, yeah. That's going to take some doing to beat
that will not happen. But we have beat last year's Thursday's number.
Yeah, we've got a new feature table, guys.
Oh, we got.
Session
Come on, oh, we got.
We just saw first hand Leon Campbell
with
in
the
one,
boots.
get aces, no action.
Yeah.
So Leon Campbell in 1, Phil Clark in 2, Mitch Johnson in 3, Ashley McKay in 4, Santiago Plante in 5, Winston Edwards in 6. Sorry, Winston's in 7, Santiago's in 5, Chris Johns is in 8, and in 9 is Jamie Nixon.
Well, yeah, back in. Back in.
How many bullets is Jamie on, says Mick Lamont? This is his third.
Third?
So
Oh, wow.
Final one for today. Hopefully he'll bag.
I want to know where the cornettos were for the team.
I just saw them
Not even just ice creams. The prima donnas of the ice cream world. Cool.
Excuse me. May I? I'm coming. Vanilla nuts and chocolate, is that okay? Here we go, my child.
Thank you so much.
Any more, guys? You alright?
That makes it 1.7 plus 2 with the pocket fives. obviously not choosing to defend the ruggy ace. Ace 4 off, hits the muck.
J. Harwood Tower. We've done this for a very long time. Jay gives all the analysis, Tower's the entertainment.
Even though it's like stream live, you'll be able to.
We can watch it back on. Folks. Folks.
Leon with a 7-3 in the hijack.
So loose from Leon in the hijack here. Especially like with Phil and Mitch on our direct left with position on us, like definitely players that are capable of punishing us and putting in some lighter 3-bets, but Leon just fearless, as I said earlier when he's on the featured table, undeterred from just letting the 7-3 off go, just chooses to open it and going to get some resistance from the big blind. Santiago defending with the Jack 5 in the big for 800 more. Queen, Queen 3, rainbow board. Leon does what best continues, and that should be that for the hand. So 400, 800, 2 levels left to go today, guys, and then that will be it for us for day 1 at 8.
We've got a shout out to Joe, Ned and Frankie the dog. Frankie the dog's watching again. I wonder how good he's going to get at poker, this Frankie the dog. He's going to be amazing. Hey up, Frankie the dog. How you doing, cat? Ned and Frankie the dog.
The other chip against the rails.
Fantastic.
So the final session of the day, if you missed it, Leon Campbell, Phil Clark, Mitch Johnson, Ashley Mackay, Santiago Plante, Winston Edwards, Chris Johns and Jamie Nixon making up the feature table for levels 9 and 10. Yeah, we're all good. Thank you very much. We are all good indeed. Well, we're not good because we've missed out on the creme de la creme of ice creams. No one thought, well, lads might want some in the back. You know, the old cornettos. Oh. But we'll soldier on. blinds 400, 800. Chris with the 7-6, calls the 400. Jamie with the option on the big blind. Ace 9 suited, the lots in. Jamie Nixon, he's all in. Blind on blind. And he nicks a few and gets back to starting stack. Jamie Nixon, 26 big blinds, starting stack. Phil Clark, 118,095. 118 big blinds, 95,000. Big blind 800. Final session of the evening. Live stream finishing round about 12:15 in the evening, depending on how many hands they deal towards the end. Santiago raises to 1.8. Winston might colour in for a call. He's got starting stack of 20,000. Pocket threes. He does make the cut. Followed 6-2-2. So a bet of 1.4 and a raise from Winston to 4.2. And a call with the overs from Santiago. And hits on the turn. He must have known. Should check again. No. About 4.2. Here we see, now have you called the flop? Good fold, he says, I've got the king. I like Santiago, just taps the table, it's a good fold. It's always a good fold when he's scooping in the chips.
I don't know. Players, you have a new dealer.
Stack sizes regarding where they are sat. There we go, Leon in 1, Phil in 2. That's the stack sizes as they go around the table. Winston with the threes again. How's that happen? 2 hands on the trot, we've got pocket threes. This time we win. And we raise it up.
I was watch the stream. Well, I was in a pub where we were waiting.
Right.
The best day. The last 4 the last 2 we'll be money back.
So Winston with the pocket threes. You can't get him again, surely. Nah, 10-7. Got the 10-7.
Chris for 2 sevens in the hijack. I think Mitch won. Mick on the cash game street.
I'm like, what? What's happening?
I was half tempted just to not turn up and see what happened.
Don't know how he got on after, but when the stream finished up, he was in the green. Action on Leon on the button. Happy to call and take a flop. Phil in the small blind here with the King Queen. Call in 2, and Mitch getting a nice price with a 9-8 in the big blind. Happy to defend. So 4-way to this flop. When we see it. $9-6-6 rainbow. Top pair for Mitch. Chris with the 7s. Mitch just snap folding the top pair here after. Okay, so slight graphic error there, guys. It's gone bet from Chris, raise from Leon, not bet from Leon, call from Chris. So it's gone, Chris has led for 2.5, Leon's raised to 6k, and then Chris has made the call. So slight graphic error there. So now Chris playing in float, checking it over to Leon after raising him on the flop. And Leon checks this one behind. Is the 9 of diamonds on the river. Small little block bet here from Chris with the 7s. A quick fold from Leon. Next hand. Jack deuce for Jamie, going to be hitting the muck. And action over to Leon in the cut-off with the 10-9 of diamonds. Lovely one to open, once folded to us. Raises to 1.6, and Phil here could potentially 3-bet this one. We saw him fold the King 10, hijack versus cut-off versus Leon before, but Leon's just relentless with the hands that he's opening, and this is a nice little one to start incorporating in some 3-bets with as a bluff. And Phil does choose the 3-bet like this from him, and once it comes back round to Leon, Leon's not going anywhere with 10-9 of diamonds, sitting this deep with Phil. 55 bigs, just over effective, so definitely going to be coming along for the ride here. Leon with the 10-9 of diamonds in one way or another. Leon is the type of player that could even mix in a 4-bet with his hand, cut off versus button, but I think this is what we're going to see more often than not as he reaches for calling chips. Heads up between Phil and Leon in this 3-bet situation. And what a flop for Leon here. Queen Jack 8, flopping the straight, 3 clubs on the board. However, not just going to give Phil credit for a flush, and it's quite hard for Phil to have a flush here on this particular 3 club board. Like a lot of the 3-bet hands, like will contain like the Queen Jack of clubs, Queen 10 of clubs, Jack 10 of clubs. A lot of these now aren't possible because of the 3 clubs on board, so it's only really Ace King of clubs, 10-9 of clubs, which is a flop straight flush, and then some like Ace 5, Ace 4, Ace 3 suited, so on. So literally probably less than 6 combinations here of flushes that Phil could have in this spot. So we are loving life here with a straight as Leon, and just happy to check call. Jack of spades on the turn, and a card where expect Phil to slow down here almost always. Leon is going to be peeling some like Jack 10 suited, Jack 9 suited pre-flop, which are going to check call flops. This is perceived to be a lot better card for him. We probably are going to be checking back a lot of our Jack X as well, and Leon knows this, and he's very good at doing this. I've seen it a lot from Leon in the spots where his opponents are going to be checking back this card fairly high frequency. Leon takes that option away from them and actually starts leading to get the bet and lead himself, get more chips in the pot, and very good at sniffing these spots out, Leon, when it's clear that it's a card that our opponent's just going to be checking back on so often, and taking that away from him. And Phil sitting here with his up and down, but 3 clubs on the board, only really got 6 outs to make our straight, offsuit ace or 9. Not going to be a big fan when it is the ace or 9 of clubs, so expect him to get out of the way now.
Do too many people check when the board pairs?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
When you instantly become scared of somebody having.
It's not about, like, it depends what card pairs, Tower. That's actually a like defining factor, like what card actually pairs. It's not like the question the board's paired, so I'm going to slow down. It comes down to what card actually pairs. Like the times like that when you're the C better and the middle pair pairs, like a lot of the time you're then going to check that behind, because middle pair's a good hand on the flop with position to start checking behind. So once you bet the flop and then the middle card pairs, like it's meant to be a lot better for your opponent, because they're going to have a lot more calls with middle pair, whereas we're going to have a lot more checks on the flop. So like in that scenario there, like we just saw with Leon and Phil, it's a great example where Leon was aware when that jack pairs, it's a card that favours him, so Phil's going to have high frequency check back, so he takes that out of question by leading himself, getting the bet and lead, building the pot, rather than checking through and seeing a river with no money going in the middle on the turn.
Last session of the evening, live stream finishing just before 12:30.
How are we doing, Ellie? How are we doing, Donna? Both rooting from Mr. Nixon, our Grosvenor sponsored pro. Third time lucky today. I wonder why. Hijack open from Liam, raises to 1.6. Flopping middle pair on ace, jack, deuce, 2 diamonds. Leon is just going to fire here. Like here, for example, this is a very nice one to start checking as Leon here, the Jack 10 suited. Obviously betting fine as well in terms of range, because it's going to be better for our range with that board. But the Jack 10 of diamonds, Jack 10 with the 10 of diamonds there. Really nice one to potentially incorporate some check backs in with, and try and induce on later streets. Pot control as well. Don't want to bloat the pot too much with second pair.
Is that one where you left you on the river where the ninth there? Yeah, it's on hand.
See it.
That would have been. I had probably 9s in that.
What he's really saying is finish up with both next time. Yeah.
Fingers crossed this is the bullet he spins, says Ellie. Yeah, us too.
$85 clubs for Leon, and the low jack raising it to 1.6. And Phil here, King Jack, already 3-bet Leon once. You could potentially see another one tower. Just this time, just chooses to call. Now Mitch with the ace-3 off, out of the way. Ashley's in with the 6s. Daniel here in the small blind, ace-10 of clubs, not going to be going anywhere, and just chooses to rip this in here for 34 big blinds. 34 bigs, in they go. And don't mind this at all, tower. Don't mind it at all. It may seem like a lot of big blinds there, but once Leon opens, there's 2 calls, all that dead money there. You expect like Phil or Ashley to start 3-betting their strong hands. We're only really worrying about Leon, and because Leon's the player at the table that's probably going to open widest, that's just what we're going to see more often than not. 3 quick folds, and the times we are called. Equity's always running so fine pre-flop. If there ever is a time to get caught bluffing, best time is pre-flop because of how fine the equities can potentially run. So everything there fairly nice. You may see like a 33 big blind shove over an open and think, well, it's a lot of chips, but in that particular dynamic, don't mind it at all there from the man in seat 5. Oh, King 3 of hearts of Jamie should be hitting the muck. And Leon, legitimate hole in this time.
Absolutely.
Pocket 9s. Exit 1.6 to go. I like this decision from Daniel. Can flat this one as well, but the offsuit Ace Jack versus Leon once again, always the man in question opening. I like Daniel's decision to 3-bet versus this particular opponent, the man that opens a whole host of hands. And it's tricky to go post versus Leon. He's a tricky customer, mixes it up all the time, which can be very difficult to play against. So like happy to take it down here as Daniel, get the betting lead ourselves the times that we're called. With 9s, we can see not going to be going anywhere, and happy to make the call. I'm not sure, is Andy Hills here today? Have you seen him?
No, saw him playing the, obviously, final table, the mini.
Yep.
I don't know if he'll be back over the weekend. I'd like to think so. Great player.
Yeah, so this is just Leon done with the hand now, unless he checks through 9 on the turn, but this flop just going to favour Daniel so much being the 3-better here versus our EP Open. And either way here for Daniel, I think we're going to have more bets than checks, but at small frequency, this isn't a bad top pair in this 3-bet coup to potentially mix in some checks some of the time, especially this particular Ace-Jack combination with the Jack of Diamonds sitting in there. Is Katie coming? Is Katie coming down tomorrow?
I'll be very surprised if she doesn't.
Yeah.
Very
She's
surprised.
usually always here for the Manchester leg.
Yeah, unless she's busy with Jack or she's busy doing something else, but I expect Katie Swift to make an appearance tomorrow. She might be on her way now in the old smart car.
How you doing, Adam? Good to be back.
Good to be back, good to be back. Hello, hello. How's things, Adam? Hope you're doing well. Ash Dakin watching on YouTube says, hi guys, a question. Players nowadays open raise 2.5 big blinds. In previous years it was a normal to open raise 3.5. Why has it changed?
It's just basically once people have delved into the mathematics, like through solvers and stuff, like the size that's the most optimal, like it's just going to make you a steady EV. And the thing is as well, like when you open like 2x, give yourself a better price to take the pot down. It's going to be less SPR going post flop. When you start going into that 3x, 3.5x remit, then what you do, you start kind of isolating a better range of hands against your opening range. But then again, you say that, and then we can flip the other side of the script, because this is going to get through from Winston, because you've got players now like Dominic Nishka, who like has his own strategy that he plays. It's either limp or he 3.5x's it, which is fine. But only if you've actually put the work in and studied that area of the game tree. And if you have, and you're obviously aware of how it's going to help you, and you understand the proof of it, why that's good, then you can start using those sizes. But the thing is, what you do as well, you actually start taking players to an area that they're not comfortable playing in. Like if you keep opening 3.5x and you've studied the spots for this opening size, players that haven't, you're going to have a more significant edge on them. So although it may not make more EV opening that size, when you start going post in these situations because of that size, if you've studied that particular spot for that particular sizing, you can actually gain more EV because of that. So you never know, it might change again. In 10 years time, the opening size might be different. More, not call them nerds because I'm a nerd, but like the super nerds or the whiz kids of the game might have different theories and might see the game change again, but that's all it come down to really. And go back to the early 2000s, as you say, it was just 3x. You read Super System, it would say, yeah, a hand, you open 3x, that's what you should be doing. But then once you got to like late noughties, early 2010s, when solvers started coming into the mix and were a lot more of a thing, that then changed and the opening size changed. And it's just all down to that really, Ashley, and I hope that answers your question. It's probably the best I can explain it.
Nice.
But just because like someone does open say a larger size hit, don't necessarily mean it's bad. They might have put the work in off the table and done lots of work around those opening sizes and trying to make more EV for themselves, taking players to an area of the game tree that they're not familiar with.
Nice one. Ellie says she thought Katie had COVID.
Ah.
Or am I making that up? I don't actually know. I've not heard. I've not heard if Katie has or not. We know Slinky's got it, from Sylvia. Sat feeding the ducks and the swans this morning, watching the live stream at the side of the canal. And Just Love to Play says, by the way guys, is it possible to break a £150 Goliath ticket at Grosvenor Poker? No, I don't think it is. I think if you've got a Goliath token worth £150, that'll be for Goliath, because that's the new buying price now.
Jamie getting raised here on the turn by Winston. And Winston takes it with the best of it, turning Jamie on the 10-10.
What would you want to break it into? I just love to play. Going on that. If you win a £150 Goliath ticket, what would you want to break it into if you weren't playing Goliath? That's
£150 on red on the roulette.
Mr. Mark Valentine in the building. I need you. I'll see you in a bit. Don't leave. Don't leave. Pardon? Where did that come from? Where on earth did that come from? Are you here for a bit? Sweet, I'll see you in a bit. Good lad. You misread the Saturday and you won it. Love it. Yeah, because it's a Goliath token, it will be frozen until Goliath, or you can buy into whatever day one you want to. Are you intending? I hope you're intending on playing Goliath. If it is frozen, I'm not sure if you can buy into a day one via that token. You should be able to if you got a token online. Click in one of the holding tanks on the day you think you'll be playing. Click on it. If it says use a ticket to buy in, it should let you buy in via a ticket. So if you're playing the first buy-in day, which is day 1A, which is a Saturday, then click on it, see if it works. Yeah, if you win a £150 Goliath token, they won't give you cash into your account. It'll just be in your tickets in your account, and then just pick a day to play. Yeah, nice one. You can read into the Goliath seat holders. Nice one. That's what I'll be doing. Be interested to see. Putting in the numbers on as we do on regular events that we do. Day 1A of Goliath. Number of runs.
Oh, that is a good one. I'm going to go with.
I think we should run a comp with that.
It's a Saturday though, so it can be a busy one.
I think PK can run a comp with that
because Monday's usually the quietest, isn't it? Monday and Tuesday are usually the two quietest days because you got the Saturday and the Sunday. And people might come down the week before to play. I'd say. I reckon about 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon 1,000 first day. You got players that want to optimise bullets as well. Play the first day, don't make it, and play the second. Don't make it, play the third.
I'm going overs.
You're going overs 1,000. That's a brave. That's a bold one.
I'm going overs 1,000 on the first buy-in day of Goliath.
Maybe we could run a competition on Grosvenor Poker. Guess the amount of runners for the first day. If you're right, or whoever's closest then gets a ticket for later in the week. That could be something.
We will see what we can do. There's no. Don't start guessing yet. It's not been confirmed. We're just talking between us.
Someone's going to put 10 of diamonds in the chat. I'll drop Tom a message, see if we can get some giveaways going for you guys this weekend, because we'll support the stream, and it'd be nice if we could give something back in terms of tokens or tickets. So I'll drop him a message and see if we can get any giveaways going for the live stream for tomorrow, Saturday or Sunday.
How long are they playing at the TV table? 2 hours. This is the feature table until the end of the night. The last change was at 10:15.
No button open from Leon here, 7-4 of spades, up to the 2.5x this time. And Mitch here with the A7 working with 32 big blinds. Could potentially see him 3-bet here to out like 7k, leaving him room to fold, but he's just going to take the take that out and just rip it all in. For his 32 bigs over a Leon Open, and it's just knowing your customer, knowing that Leon's going to be opening a lot of hands and getting that one through.
Talking of the said Goliath, there it is. There it is, Thursday the 25th of August, when it all starts with the GUKPT main. The Goliath Flight A starts on Saturday, £150 in 12 o'clock start, 8 30-minute levels and then 8 40-minute levels, like that. 20k starting stack. How many runners are there going to be for day 1-8? I've gone over the 1,000 mark. I've gone over 1,000. We'll be streaming the ladies event for day 2. I know Katie's going to be in the comms box as well if she's not in the final. Are we coming to Malta? No, we're working in London when Malta is on. So can't get to Malta for the first Battle of Malta, but fingers crossed the second Battle of Malta in October doesn't clash with anything and we can get over. That's the plan. I'm in the room with this guy because he's never in it. So yeah, but that's the schedule for Goliath. Is it going to be over 1,000 on day 1-8? I say yes. He set the mark at 1,000. So we will see. But there's plenty going on and we'll talk about Goliath a lot in the coming weeks.
So King Queen raising to 1.7 and Leon 3-betting the Ace-4 suited, perfectly fine, mixing in a 3-bet with this hand. However, we've run into it behind because it's just going to be a cold 4 here now from Phil. With the ladies, somewhere around the 12k remit, 12-13k. Those 15, so 3x sizing, 4-bet in position. Fairly large 4-bet size here from Phil, but maybe against Leon choosing to size up. And once met with this heat and our stack size here as Leon, can't see him continuing here. If anyone can find a 5-bet rip in this spot though, it is probably this man. It wouldn't work, but I think this is just going to be the end of the hand.
Yeah. I think you're right.
We're off to Edinburgh in May, Mick the Mod. Thank you, Hendo. Just going to be a tank from me on a Finker fold.
As he folds, there we go. The dates for May the 7th till the 15th of...
No 30-30. Straight into the mini on the Sunday.
Saturday is the mini online.
Yeah, online.
Mini online, and then Sunday is the mini on Monday. The mini main day 1A is on the 8th. So the 7th is online, 8th is mini main. Plenty going on. PLO 456-200 on the Wednesday, live cash stream on the Wednesday night, mini main day 3. So yes, plenty going on. Seniors, Bounty, the 200, all going on as normal. So that's the schedule, and I'm thinking round about there might be some...
I was just about to say, anyone watching the stream, I'm pretty sure I'm booked to get up there on the Saturday, but as I can see, there's actually nothing on the casino Saturday. So
I'll come with you.
If anyone fancies a round of golf on the Saturday, maybe, and you're a member of a course up there, give us a shout, please, because I'll need something to do. I thought you was getting there Monday.
I might be getting there Sunday. We'll see. Could be there Sunday. We'll see.
We'll see.
If you're there Saturday, I might be there Sunday. We'll see. Yes, so Edinburgh, there. And it's definitely on. Whatever here, it's on.
It's definitely on.
Definitely on.
So Phil makes it 1.6 with the King 9. And Mitch just Random free bet here with the 10-5 off. Well timed. Not the best of hand selection, but Mitch just thinks Phil's going to be opening so wide here once folded to him in the cut-off, so just attacking that. It works. And Danny says he fancies a shot in the mini main in Edinburgh, as it's not too far from him. Good luck if you are playing. I'll probably be playing it myself, so we'll see you at the tables. King Jack for Leon. Leon will not be folding this one. Happy to open. Haven't seen too much of this man, Santiago. Going to defend in the big blind with the 8-9. And flopping middle pair on ace 9-6, 2 spades. Should just be check back call. Leon going to have lots of continues on this board here. On the ace 9-6, firing for 1.4. And Santiago not going to be going anywhere. Up and down now to go with Santiago's middle pair. There's a card that you do expect Leon to do exactly that on. Check behind. And we still can't lead here, Santiago. We're just happy to get to showdown because need to be aware that Leon's good enough to have some check behinds with some ace-x on the turn. Unless we opt for a really small sizing, as small as like 20%, 1500, something like that. Definitely an option. But I don't think we want to be going any bigger than that, simply because of what I spoke about. Leon will have some checkbacks with some ace-x and opts for south of 30%. 2k. So it does choose the small block sizing, not as small as expected. If I know Leon, he can sniff out some weakness, and if he thinks that Santiago is going to have one pair at best here and a weak one pair, he may choose to attack this size on the river. It's definitely 2k, yeah, definitely 2k. I don't think Leon's ever raising now. Once he postures like this, it's maybe thinking about hero and King Jack, but we don't beat anything other than Miss Spades specifically. Ah, he does find the raise. He does find the raise, Leon. It makes it 10.5, and this is why maybe check is the better option here with our 8-9. Obviously, the block sizing blocked to fold to the raise, but against an opponent like this that is more than capable. And you know what, I'm going to say it may have seemed absolutely crazy, but I wouldn't even mind 3-bet bluffing this hand as Santiago here. we've got like really nice hands to 3-bet bluff river with, and like good hands to usually 3-bet bluff river with. It's hardly ever done, but your original like value bets, you small value bet there with a 9 block bet. Then when we get raised, these hands are the good hands to turn into bluffs potentially. Oh, he does it! He takes the spot! Yes, Santiago! Yes! Love to see it with the 8-9 there. And that is, I was not expecting him to do it. I was giving... Wow! I was just saying how we could actually 3-bet bluff with this hand. It's like he heard me and just sticks it in there with the 8-9, and I am a big fan of that. Perfect hand to do it with. And Santiago aware of that as well. So this man can obviously play. First I've seen of him, but that is a beast mode move. That is very nice from that man there in C6. Santiago Plante. Definitely going to get a little Hendon check from me now after that move. There we go. Obviously he's got $500,000 in earnings. Canadian from Montreal, Canada, Santiago. $500,000 in live earnings. First I've ever seen of him, but I thought I was going to see something similar to what I'm seeing in front of me on Hendon now after seeing that move. Just understanding a lot of things in that particular spot there, and really, really nice from him. Like that would just put all of Leon's hands that weren't a straight in the blender. I know he only had king high, but on that occasion, but if he went for like thin value with like ace jack, ace queen, ace king, that would have to fold, and like all his 2 pairs would, and like sets would be in a horrible spot. So fair play, Santiago, for taking it. What's Chris up to here? Jamie opening under the gun with 10s, and Chris just donks flop, fires turn, and gets the job done. Just random donk on the flop there with the king 8 off, and fires the turn and gets it done. Those blinds are just about to go up, guys. Got 5 minutes left of this level, and that will take us into the final level of the day. Thanks to everyone that's been tuned in throughout. Been a fairly slow day on the feature table. Day ones can go like that sometimes, as I'm sure our regular viewers know. Sometimes you sit here in a day one and you just don't get any action at all, and sometimes it goes like that. And another key element in that hand with Santiago as well, I should probably mention as well, if Leon did open like a 10-8 suited, 8-5 suited, he's never checking that turn. He's going to be firing, so he's sort of capped, can't have the straight there, whereas we can, and they're important things to note when you are running bluffs like that. You need to be able to have the hand in your range, and your opponent doesn't. But really nice line from the man. In C6, I love to see stuff like that. It's just pure poker. So we've got an all-in and a call. Jamie Nixon gets his last 18 bigs in with the pocket 10s, and Mitch with the king-queen suited calls it off. And still out in front, but this is a post-flop coin flip now. 50-50, diamonds and 2 overs. Oh, and it's not dead on the turn because it's a 10 of diamonds. So now Jamie still has a redraw. 7, 5, 3 or 10 to stay alive. And it's the ace of diamonds, nuts on the river for Mitch. And we're going to lose Jamie Nixon, unfortunately.
It has not been his day.
It's not.
3 down. Fingers crossed we'll see him again tomorrow.
Yeah, hopefully we do.
But yes, it's.
No, he's got a lot of support in the chat.
Unlucky Jamie, like you say, he got a lot of outs on the. We got more outs on the turn. We've been a 10 of diamonds, but very unfortunately. See you later. Unlucky.
Still a sweat though, wouldn't it, even after the swim?
Spot on. Unlucky, yeah, Ellie. I don't know if he's going to be back tomorrow for another bullet or another chance in this looking like over 400 runner field. More runners for day 1A on the Thursday than there were last year.
As you always. Nothing don't change. Nothing don't change.
So we lose Jamie, very unfortunate. Departs the tournament for the final time today. Very unlucky Jamie. Look at that for a flop.
Yeah.
Here's 10-10.
Always rubs next
Oh
hand,
my
ain't it?
days. Any 10s about.
There is 2 10s that he had as well, I think.
Where's the APAT next week, Anthrax? Where's the APAT? Couldn't make the team event unfortunately this year. I had things on with the family. I think we were on grandad duties with the little lad. I couldn't make the team event unfortunately. He's down at Aspers. All right, sweet. Good luck anybody who's playing. Always like to see the boys, Des and everybody else. Lee always involved. Lee Wiltshire. I tune in every week when they do the hourly show on I think it's about 10 PM on one of the nights. I always tune in for 10 minutes or so, listen to see what they're blurbing on about. Always good to hear them talking. Good luck if you're playing the APAT. There's plenty going on. Plenty. We've got talking things going on. We'll show you after the hand what's coming up until Goliath, which is only. It's 5 months away, but you think that 5 months comes around so quick. We're talking about it now. There's people getting seats now, getting the tokens now, sorting it all out. So, good luck if you're playing the APAT event. It's a great event. Where's Teams Chips gone? Where have they gone? Has he forgot to bring a stack with him? That seemed like a brutal session.
What on earth, Towers, happened to Tim's stack? He had 130k. Is that a re-entry as well? That looks like a 20k stack.
Oh, never thought about that.
That looks like a 20k stack. Is Tim out? He had the whole table covered 4-fold. We'll find out in a second when the stack sizes come up, but surely not. What has happened to Tim?
Well, he will get entered with his chip stack.
Yeah, a lot of people enjoy the cash game, Gandhi. It's really nice for us. It's just very hard for Tara and I to stay till like 2-3 in the morning when we've got to be back in the casino at 11 for 12 hours of streaming the next day, and then another 3 days after that for 12 hours. It's a long shift sitting here talking poker all day, and sometimes you just need that early night. And
But you came up with some kind of suggestion.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I think potentially we could stay and do the cash game till 3-4 in the morning and miss the first few levels of day one. Because like day 1A, first 3-4 levels, you don't see much action, do you? It's just a lot of small pot poker, not even full ring some of the time, and potentially for the next leg could be something that's put forward if we stream the cash game till 3-4 in the morning. Because even if you have got work, you can go back and watch it on YouTube or Twitch.
Yeah.
Definitely an idea that I'd like to put forward. I think it's better for you guys, better viewing as well.
Yeah. I think 3 would probably be the latest, like we set up the table from the Wednesday afternoon as well. It's not just there.
Yeah.
We wish it was. But yeah, I think till 3 will be. We'll have a word with the boss. We'll see what he comes up with. See what the boss says, and if that's a thing, then maybe we could do that. Because obviously it's not just me and Jay that's sat chatting in the comms, there's also the action tracker behind the scenes, which is most important. The action tracker and the PK to oversee everything, make sure everything runs correctly, and takes Dave off for breaks as well. To be fair, he gets more breaks than Judith Chalmers, but yeah, I'm just saying.
I have no idea who that is, Tara. More breaks than Ronnie O'Sullivan, I would have been alright with that one. I would have got that one, but I have no idea who that is. A bit of action here between Santiago and Leon. 3-bet situation here. These two going at it again. Santiago flopping bottom pair gut shot, and Leon here with top 2. Going to see some chips put in. Fires for 4.2, and Santiago just has to call once here. Getting this price over 4-1 on the call, only need 20% equity to make this a break-even call. Like, don't know that we're specifically up against Ace Queen here, but we are less equity than that. But we should have more tower. Well, obviously it's accounting for the dead outs. That makes sense. There's three dead outs. Keep missing them top right.
Well, the King of Hearts. Any turn cards.
There's the 4 line into a straight. Broadway does come in for the bare 10x, so may slow both players down here. You might see Leon check this and then value bet when check 2 on rivers. I think that's probably the best approach here as Leon with 20.8k behind. If we bet and just get set in by 10, we've got to call it off because of the price we're getting, and sometimes we might be in front of some random bluff like spade draws or something like that. However, when we check, get the brick mirror, so then check to us from our opponent, we can feel confident we've got the best hand and go for value versus some worse 2 pairs like King Queen, King Jack, Queen Jack.
Oh wow, the King of Spades on the river. It comes King.
Perfect for Santiago. Now Leon with Ace Queen on the flop. What do we beat? We don't beat anything other than the counterfeit Queen Jack perhaps, but against stack sizes it's probably going to raise, and it should only really be Queen Jack of clubs once we're in this 3-bet scenario. So there's literally nothing we should ever be ahead of now. Leon, the way this hand's played, Ace 10 gets there, King Queen gets there, King Jack gets there, King 10 we're already behind 2. Hands like 7-8 of spades, 9-8 of spades get there. We literally just don't beat anything. What a horrific run out for us as Leon.
Chucks in the chip. I love that from Leon. He throws the 5k straight over to Santiago, as if I was calling to see what you've got. Love it.
I think Leon made a bit of steam there with that run out tower, and I think that's affected the call. Because if Leon really thinks about that, I think he saves himself 5 big blinds potentially. It's just one of them we don't beat anything by the river, and I think maybe just mentally seeing that run out, a bit of entitlement till what it's called.
So if I shot the other time, you call.
Maybe a bit unlike him. Maybe just a bit frustrating, flopping top two there and getting that particular run out. It's not nice.
No, as I say, if against me, I think you call. Yeah, Queen Jack? Yeah, that's 5-1. I wanted you to show.
Right.
That's a bad place to shop.
He's not done anything wrong though, Santiago. Craig, obviously he's hit the runner, but like we have to check call on ace queen jack for that price, getting 4-1. We have to. We've got a gut shot and we've got a pair. We have to call. And then the fact that we've just hit runner kings is obviously fortunate. But regarding flop, I know he was behind, but the price he was getting in equity he should have within that given spot just means got a call there. Obviously very fortunate.
How we doing, Yamo? I'd have $500,000 on the end of the month if you had looked like that. How we doing, Yamo? What's happening? Where are you DJing tomorrow? Come on, tell me. Tell me. I do miss it sometimes.
Like an American team win the baseball championship and they think they're world champion.
It's easy to be a world champion.
Yeah, I mean, it's like if Chelsea wins the European, they're not world champions. But in America, they would.
I feel those jack in the cut-off.
Sorry?
Trying to open. This one raises to 2k.
We're going to qualify for the World Cup. We're first in the country.
Haven't seen too much of this man.
I've never been to once, 35 years ago, so I've been here like the
That's Tim re-entered. Was it a 20k stack?
I weren't. I didn't actually check it. I was concentrating on the hand. We'll have a check when it's comes up here because it's going to be a call from Phil. There's a call, the ace jack up against the kings of Ashley. It's been fairly quiet.
He has.
But cut-off versus small blind here, 17 big blinds effective. Have to call this off as Phil. Unless we have significant reading our opponent that they're really tight, and then maybe we can make the hero fold.
Well, flop set. Yeah. Still out.
Yeah, lady needed for Broadway, backdoor spades. Well, now 7.
7 as well now.
7 or queen to fade for Ashley. And it's a 10, boats up, so he gets the double Ashley McKay in seat 4.
Yamo's in Darwin tomorrow night. Lovely golf course, Darwin.
Ah, yeah, I think it was. I think
it was.
Yeah, I think it could have been a re-entry potentially for Tim.
Oh my days. We need to know what happened because there's a chip lead out there somewhere. Lovely golf course in Darwin, but it's very like that, hilly.
Yeah,
enjoy yourself tomorrow, Yamo.
Yeah, I'm shook one. He was up to 130k just before we went on break last session, and there must be some runaway chip leader out there. Must have been on Tim's table.
Is this your first time you played in the UK? Where else did you play last time? None. Shit all, man.
Sorry?
Shit all, isn't it?
Nottingham, I feel like it's a student town. Yeah, I liked it. I don't know. I went out every night and
So he's just gone to find out if there's a big chip leader in the room because he wants to know exactly what's just happened. Because we think Tim's had a re-entry and he had 130,000 at the last break, and he now come to this table with 20k. So Jay has just nipped around the room to see if we can find a massive chip leader, which there really could well be. We're in the last level of the night. 50 minutes and counting. Till the end of the session and the end of the evening. Numbers bigger than last year for the Thursday, which is a good start. Not sure if Chris is recalling this 5.1. It could do. We might see a flop. Jay's got 3 weeks booked. Yamo to Las Vegas for the final 3 weeks. He's going to play the main event. He's working out the schedule to play a lot of satellites. He wants to play the 50k, but obviously only if his satellites in. So he's going out for the final 3 weeks. Me, I've not so sorted anything out just yet. But you know me. If there's a way to get there for £4.50, a pair of trunks and a pair of goggles and swim across the Atlantic, you never know. We might be there in June, but we'll have to see about that. But Jay has got himself 3 weeks in Vegas. Towards the end, definitely playing the main event and hopefully satellite into the high roller as well. Hey Dave. Yeah, I don't know what's happened to Will Shillibier this week. I've not heard that he wasn't coming. I didn't hear anything, but he's definitely not in the building this week, so I don't know what's happened. The online team have not said anything either, so we'll try and find out whether he's busy somewhere else. I know they've just done Prague.
I've just run out of the field because I needed to find out what on earth happened to Tim's chips, but unfortunately the table he was on is broke, so couldn't actually get any details from anyone. But I'll have a chat with him probably at some point over the weekend. Probably let me know.
Yeah.
Like 5s for Leon, raises to 2k. Santiago 3 betting to 7. And these two have been battling. And Leon going to call here, leaving himself 12.1k back. We're working with 3/4 pot with the 5s.
8-8-4.
This is quite good for us here as Leon. Just going to be going in here. Santiago going to give himself room to fold. Can bet like 3k, 20% south of. There you go, gives himself room to fold. And Leon's just going to shove now tower. We've got a great flop for our pocket 5s here. Yeah, some of the time we're going to run into 9s plus, but once we get this flop, it has to go in from Leon. Well, it's just called. I'm really surprised to see that from Leon here with the pocket 5s just calling in this spot. Now, good card for SPR is tiny. We've got 40% back, literally 40% pot back. And I think once we're called here, Santiago probably going to be aware that Leon's not shutting down and not going to be able to call this off with the King Queen. I don't think it is closer than it looks because it's 3.5 to 1 on our money, but just don't expect Leon to ever have any flats off this stack versus our 3-bet. You just expect 4-bet rip or fold, so puts you in sort of an area that you're not going to be too used to being in this spot, simply because of the limited stack size. You just expect it to go in, but Santiago shows the King Queen, sees the 5s, and does make the call. Thinks he's getting the correct price, slightly out.
No pain, and Leon gets a 40k pot.
Only slightly out on the maths to get the correct price, but ace of spades on the end. So the 5s at Leon get the double. Played it in a very unorthodox manner. Surprised he didn't shove flop. Surprised he didn't shove pre.
And still gets called when he shoves river.
Yeah, we've got the full double. Played it in a way that perhaps got him the maximum. Yeah, exactly, and I think it looks like mega strong there, Leon, but then Santi still called it off with the King Queen.
One more. That's from you. I'm helping you, you can help me, man. This is a very greedy game.
Yeah, I agree, Tetbury. It's very unorthodox playing the fives like that. Like, probably rarely ever going to see that, if ever. But Leon has his own style, and it works well for him. He's had some good results down the years. Has his own way of playing. Throws the book out the window. That's Phil with ace jack, raises to 2k. Ashley flatting, suited ace in the hijack. Folding the pocket threes. There's room for Chris to defend for 1k more, 6 after 1 the call with the jack 5 suited. Yeah, it's Berry New Road 50 caliber on Twitch. He'll be coming down tomorrow. Didn't even know there was another G in Manchester.
Yeah, Salford. Yeah.
And this is action as it gets. We've been waiting all day for something like this, and the dealer puts out the Jack 6-5 flop.
With 2 hearts.
Yeah, with 2 hearts. We've got top pair, top kicker for Phil. We've got top and bottom here for Chris, and Ashley with middle pair, nut flush draw. So we're going to see lots of chips go in the middle here. Could potentially be getting in between Ashley and Chris. Phil may be able to manoeuvre his way out of this hand, depending on how he plays it. So if Phil calls here, which he should just be doing with the ace-jack, and Ashley decides to take the aggressive route and rip, we can then get away lightly with our ace-jack as Phil. And if I'm Ashley here with the ace-6 of hearts, I'm just going to be ripping this one in tower, always ripping this one in. Like even if like our hearts are always live, we've got 9 outs there, we've got 2 outs with our 6, which makes it 11 outs, and then if our ace is good as well, that's a full 14 outs twice. But chooses to just call, and then what we do sometimes as well, we fold out some hands like Phil does have, like hands still have a decent amount of equity against us. Wouldn't have worked versus Chris, but Ashley just choosing to call on this occasion. To the turn.
Big 4 of clubs.
Second barrel now coming in from Chris. 40% pot on the turn, 12k into 30, and Phil now. This is where the decision is going to occur for us. It's really tough as well, especially with Ashley behind. Thing is, hands that we are going to be up against that Chris can have in the big blind. He'll have the 5-6, he'll have Jack 6 and Jack 5 suited. 3 combos of Jack 5 suited, 2 of Jack 6. Even less actually because we've got the Jack of Diamonds in our hand. But does make a good laydown. Now Ashley with the decision with the A6 of hearts here. Obviously never can fold this one, ever. If he folds here tower, I would be shocked. I just can't fold this spot here as Ashley.
No.
Like we should have 13 outs. Yeah, 13 outs. So I keep second guessing myself with the outs up top. Dead cards in the muck. Yeah, 13 outs here. So 13 outs twice, round 33%.
Always folding.
Can't fold that. That's an outrageous fold. Just. I know he doesn't have the best hand, guys, but he's getting such a good price there. He's getting 12k to win 42, 12k to win 2, so he's getting 3.5 to 1 in his money. So it's around 22% to break even. With all 14 outs of ours live, we're going to have around 34%. So we're actually printing money just by flatting there and leaving ourselves room to fold rivers. But how on earth is I don't, especially with position as well, where we can get value on rivers potentially when it's checked to us dictating action. But how on earth has the A6 of hearts hit them up there? It's I have no explanation for that one, Tower, but just have to call 12k to win 42.
No, he said he could have ripped the flop, couldn't he?
They could have ripped the flop. May have saved himself 12k. We don't know what the river card would have come, but just getting that price.
Yeah, Carter says he's ripping flop.
It's not even like it. I don't even mind the call on the flop. Like I'd probably rip myself, but it's like fine to flat if you want to play it like that with position and take a turn. But then once we get that price, still one card to come after Phil folds heads up situation. We have position. We're getting 3.5 to 1 to call with the nut flush draw and a pair. Just like situations like that, just simple maths problems that. But it would have had its reasons. As I always say, these players flick their own money into these events. They play their stack exactly how they want. Yeah, Dave makes a good point. Obviously, the call on the flop, one of the merits of calling on the flop, we keep worse flush draws in, so chance to get the full double up the times that the turn does come to heart. Yeah, maybe a satellite qualifier, wanting to make day 2, been playing all day. If he puts Phil in on 2 pair, don't do it. Ace is still going to be live, mate. Still got another 3 outs with the ace, making it 12 outs twice, 28-29%. Still break even call, like even against 2 pairs. Ace turns into a better 2 pair. So even if we are up against 2 pair, we've still got the clean ace out, and then sometimes the 6 out. And that I'm obviously doing the percentages, not accounting for dead cards like it would be from a player's perspective. We only account for the dead cards that we can see on stream that have hit them up. Jack 4. Lovely flop for Ashley. After opening this one under the gun, Daniel just choosing to flat the ace queen. Perfectly fine, can mix in a 3-bet as well. And flop checks through. Ashley not choosing to fire with his trips. Brings a 3rd club out on the turn, 6 of clubs. Now, happy to bet.
Has Alex Montgomery entered today? I don't know if he has or not, I'm not sure. Try and find out at the end. Just under half an hour to go until the clock will be paused for a certain number of hands.
That's one you know behind.
Last level of the day. Thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, all the way through. Full 12 hours of live streaming, and we have about 45 minutes left. Really great start. Yeah, sometimes it goes a bit steady, but it's all about getting through day one, making your way through the minefield.
Yeah, definitely saved the best for last. Dave, been a very quiet day. I don't know if you've been tuned in throughout, but this has definitely been the best session of the day. Santiago and Leon been going at it, been fun to watch. That 3-bet river bluff from Santiago earlier as well. I know Leon didn't have much, but love to see that. Love the hand selection choice.
Quick nifty on red. Says Low Brown. Around about 45 minutes to go until the end of the day. Back for the same tomorrow. Phil Clark raising up with the Snowmen. Dan hits the lead on the turn. The 10 of clubs hits. Check calls the flop. Checked again. Bill bets 5k. Just be a call. Too obvious. He's reaching for chips. 45 behind the line. Oh, sorry, 22 behind the line. The 45. And the lot is in. Full SPR.
Yeah, full pot size bet tower here. And this is an interesting spot here for Phil. Obviously, out of the big blind, Daniel can have a whole host of bluffs here. Some hearts, some 6x, maybe some like 3 deuce suited, 4 deuce suited. But the thing is, this is like a spot that I just think is under bluffed. Like when someone check calls out the big blind, then suddenly leads river when nothing changes in terms of board texture. Like more often than not, I see these spots weighted towards value. I just think these are under bluff spots. Like people won't rock up with like say a 6-8 of hearts here too often. It's more going to be weighted towards value, which they're just worried about their opponent checking it behind too often. I feel definitely in the spot here with the 8s, especially after Dan calls flop with the Queen 10. makes a good fold. And I think that just comes down to just what I said. It's just a spot I just see bluffed so infrequently. Check call, suddenly lead all in for pot size. Not really taking too much time in the decision either. But a very nice fold there from Phil. Didn't get sticky. Some players might talk themselves into their opponent having like a busted flush draw or a busted up and down. But Phil making a very nice lay down there. Save some chips. Tim getting his 10 bigs in, Jack 9 of clubs under the gun. In they go. I'm still not sure whether this is a re-entry or not for Tim, or whether he just lost a massive pot and was left with just sub starting before he comes to the table. Queen Jack raises to 2k. We've got 30 minutes left of the day, guys. See on the clock up there, just half hour left to go in about 20 minutes time.
Nice steady day today, Jay. It's been one of those, hasn't it? A bit stale sometimes, but like, it's all about getting through today too. Yeah. Well, that's what these players, but this session has been great.
Yeah, this last session has been worth the watch. Really enjoyed it.
Good numbers in the cash out satellite and decent numbers in the main as well. And the numbers in the main were excellent. 138 for the main event, which is up on last year for day 1-8, and 75 in the cash out. So nearly 8 seats for that. So that'll be interesting to watch out. Tomorrow's day 1B, and then the turbo at 9 PM for flight 1C.
Folds to him. And the cut off raises the King Queen of Hearts. Action on the big line just gets out of the way. Not much Chris can do. Just letting that one go. Unknown holding. 6-4 off. Hits the muck. Don't forget, guys, as well, back tomorrow from 12:30, another 12 hours of coverage. If you have missed anything today, you can go back and rewatch on our social media, YouTube and Twitch /GUKPT. Hit the follow or subscribe button, give us a like, will help us out. And on Facebook and Twitter, you can find us at Grosvenor Poker.
Come and join in the fun.
And as always, will be the end of day roundup with the chip counts, all the players that have made it through. Tim here. His 15 big blinds. Easy shot for him on the button with the ace jack. In they go. No action.
Tomorrow, flight 1B, flight 1C tomorrow night at 9, the turbo. Side event of the 200 on the Saturday, and 2 side events, the seniors, and the bounty to finish us off. Coming into Manchester, come and join in the fun. Tim has the boots. Don't think Dan's making the call.
No, it's not. I'm surprised Tim hasn't flatted here, to be honest with you, Tower. I think Tim's a big advocate for that as well, like off of 20 bigs, just sub, facing an open, pocket aces, mixing a flat, just ships it in. Didn't get any action.
In the next 15 minutes, just not minute. Listen, I'll join in a minute, don't worry. I'll join in. I'm on it. Yellow. Mate, I'm on so much tilt, I have to join in.
What did you peak at? You go a lot early.
Tim raises a 2K with a Jack 10 suited. This out of the way. Down to Phil Clark in seat 2.
Oh yeah, can't stand your aces that way. I did have aces one of these nights.
So just under 15 minutes to go and the clock will get paused. It normally gets paused around about 10 minutes. And it'll be 4, 5 or 6. What are you going for?
5, straight down the middle.
Yeah.
It's never 4, so
No, it doesn't seem to be, does it? It doesn't seem to be 4 many times. Good luck to everybody who's still in the cash out satellite. Good runners for that today. Nearly 7 seats for the 1250s.
so ace jack for Dan here. It's 2.2. It looks like Phil with a decision on the button. Happy to call here with the old 3s. Action on Ashley, not looking to defend. 10-7 off go. Threes of Phil still out in front. Faced with 3 overcards though. However, Daniel has opened under the gun. He's going to have that like linear range of hands like ace, king, king, queen, all the high cards in there. So will still be the best hands some of the time here with the pocket threes. Obviously still losing to 10s through aces. And now might see Phil fire here, tower. Equity denial purposes, not letting our opponent realise the free one. We've got 6 outs to win counterfeit and then sat there with 3 high. And this can happen as well. We can get value from worse. Phil Diamond's on the river. And he's probably just going to check now.
Like I want to keep my phone time with him and so that like my phone's already just been like
Phil just knows exactly where he's at though, Tower. And this is a value bet. This is definitely a value bet here from Phil. I'm trying to rep like a 7-8, 10-7, 10-8, 5-7 type hand. You get into that sort of mindset of you don't expect your opponent to go this thin, so you start thinking that he's never going any thinner than a 6, and then you're going to have a lot of bluffs here, potentially. It is versus gun open as well, actually, so more than not going to have like 5-7 suited. 7-8 suited will be in there, 10-8 suited. And then it could just be firing off potentially with like some Broadway holdings, King Jack, Queen Jack 10, Queen Jack, trying to fold out ace highs, and that's why we haven't seen Dan fold yet. But this is a lovely little value bet here from Phil, and
very cool.
Gets it paid off.
Well played, Mr. Clark.
Really nice from Phil that.
Heading towards the final half an hour of the session, half an hour of the day. Thanks for tuning in and sticking with us until the end of the evening. If you are logging out before, then you can always re-watch it on Twitch and YouTube tomorrow. All folding round in turn. Mitch on the button. Not even getting involved with the old 10-3. Jack, Queen 6. Just making it up. Ash pre-flop. Check, check. He's Ash in the lead after he hits the king on the turn.
Not a bad one to check.
No, just check, check.
Yeah, I like the decision here from Ash. Definitely a good top pair check we can have on the turn. The king 7 off, 9 of spades on the river. And checking over to Daniel. And once we play this deceptively, we'll check on the turn. Be surprised if Ashley's ever going to let this one go. And makes the call, and the correct call. And that check on the turn's got us an extra little 1.2k. Well played, Ashley. I think what it come down to, Rob Lord 10 Ace Jack got enough showdown value to not consider the check raise bluff there. I think what it comes down to, I think Dan in seat 5 didn't think Phil would ever go that thin, so he thought he was going to have like some King Queen, King Jack, Jack 10 that just tried to take it away from us after we checked twice, or potentially like a 9x hand, maybe some like 7s, 8s in there. I just think we do beat enough with the Ace Jack that I'm not going to be check raising it, especially when Phil can have a 9. He will have some 9x in his top pair check range, so good competent player. Maybe there's better hands to choose for the check raise. That's a good question though, and obviously I'm not 100% certain on that spot. Right then, Dave Meadley, Eden Tower.
Evening, Dave.
Nice to have the streams back. We've got 30 minutes left, Dave, just under.
Where have you been? Unless you've been sat quietly in the background watching. Good to have you back. We're here Friday, Saturday and Sunday till we crown a champion as well. Full 12 hours, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then however long it takes to crown a champion.
Like this from Mitch. Free bet on the suited King versus Leon, who's been very active this session. Nice little hand selection as well from Mitch. King blocker in there with suited.
I would say maybe 6-1.
Oh.
My top 3 for best for King, I would say 6-1 for inside.
I'd say 8.
Who's got the chip lead, says the unshook one. Well, we'll get a full chip count from around the room. If we get any whispers, we'll let you know. So we'll give you top 20 chip counts at the end of the night. Let me know a few that are going well around the room.
I think Span's got a fair amount in front of him. I just saw him move over with a rack of chips to
Nice.
the table. He's just gone back to get his coat. You see him there, sitting down.
Best 3,000.
Tim now leading for 3k, and Mitch, after checking this back on the flop, expecting to shoot a call once here against this particular opponent.
Good evening, Kevin. 10 of spades. Will it ever leave us that game?
6 of spades on the river. So both players improving. Tim improves to a pair, and Mitch improves to 2 pair, and Mitch got a pretty clear value bet spot here now, Tower. Don't think Tim's ever going to be checking a straight. So I think we try and target some 1 pair holdings here, some 10x potentially at Tim, as Mitch. Like, it's a spot you see a recreational a lot of the times, like snap check back because it's a 4-line into a straight, but Mitch goes for value and Tim just snap folds. I think Tim and Boz must be the 2 quickest acting poker players on the circuit, Tower, in the UK.
Already worked out what they're doing to any action after they've made action themselves. We think one of the chip leaders is Tom Hall.
Tom Hall, that's the name.
That is a name.
Pass. 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 Raise 2,200.
There's it up to 2.2 from Dan. Santiago on the button.
Raise 6,200. Pass.
3 bets to 6.2.
Pass.
Back down to the original raise in the cutoff.
Plays well, Santiago. Nice little incorporation of 3 bet with this hand. Suited 2 gapper. Dan having none of it. Knows his customer. Just 4 bet rips the 10-9 of hearts. 4 bet ripping the 10-9 suited. Fair play to Dan. Gets it through.
Sweet.
I think
Sweet Caroline.
The clock is going to be paused very shortly.
Oh, it is. Big Simon's just shouted, pause the deal. Pick the card. It's going to be a 4, a 5, or a 6.
Don't want to be the player that picks the card, picks a 6, then busts the 6th hand. Can happen.
What's that?
Because they give it to a player to pick one of their cards,
Yeah.
4, 5, or 6. And if the player picks a card, if they pick the 6, and then they bust on the 6th hand of the day, it's their own downfall because they pick the card for a number of hands.
Yes.
Seen it happen once.
Have you?
Yeah, in Edinburgh, 2017. 2017 when I played. How many tower? Let me guess, not 4.
Last 6.
Do you know what?
Last 6. It's never nothing
If it
but
was
6.
a book on this, it wouldn't be like 2 to 1, 2 to 1, 2 to 1. It would be 1 to 4 for 6.
Even money for the 5
Yeah.
and 50s for the 4.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. How little is 4 and how often it's 6.
So the final 6. Where's the button finish? The big blind is on Leon.
So Santiago is going to be our last big blind, which means who's going to be the button tower if Santiago's our last big blind?
It'll be the man with the hat on.
There we go.
Yeah.
Ashley.
Ashley.
It's a button on Ashley.
Ashley.
Last hand.
See, younger players always pick 4. There's a way to do it. Always choose a younger player to pick the number. Get that nifty. Who's to say I've got a nifty on me? That's what I want to know.
2,500.
The best bet I ever did was in Vegas, waiting for Boothie and the lads to finish playing. I went for a Chinese downtown. I think it was in the Orleans, and they were all having a Chinese, and I went having a Chinese, and they'd all shouted at me, "That's all right, we're leaving." I had to go wandering off. I was just walking past the craps table, and the craps table was off point. So I literally walked over. I got $10. I went $10 on midnight. So I literally put it down, shut the dice. 12 midnight, $300 in the pocket. Right, thanks for coming. That was it. Walked off. Oh.
Mitch choosing to double barrel here with the ace 10, perhaps setting up a 3 barrel. Leon not having any of it. Going to call the 3rd pair here. Mitch gets there. Ace of spades on the river.
Okay.
And what we're working with here, like 70%. Just going to be a jam from Mitch. Or is he going to choose a smaller sizing? He is going to jam. And Leon
Best 31,000.
lets the king 6 go. 5 more hands. Have you? I remember Boovie telling us a story about when you was out in a bar one night and you done straws for a round of drinks and you picked it, and then you done straws for a round of shots and you picked it as well.
You've never seen anything like it. You've never seen anything
I would
like
have been
it.
loving it. I would have been laughing my head off, Tower. I would not have been able to.
It was with Mad Marty Wilson, God bless him. Oh my days. And I think it was Sheffield. Or it might have been Nottingham, somewhere like that. Newcastle was it? Was it in Newcastle? Was it? I can't remember the place. I was in a daze. He picked straws. So we're picking straws like that, and Mad Marty Wilson's with us, and everybody else, and there's loads of it. We picked the straws. I went like that. Couldn't believe it. I absolutely couldn't believe the straw was like that big. Right, shots with the drinks. Pick another one. Tower, you can't do it again. Pick another one. I I was absolutely in tears. I was on the floor. They had to pick me up 20 minutes later, and I was like devastated. Oh my days! Yeah, that was running bad. God bless him. The absolute legend that is Marty Wilson. Miss him to pieces.
4 more hands to go.
Pass. Pass.
Santiago
Raise
with the jacks.
Pass.
Raises to 2.2. And Chris in the calf here, ace-3 off. That is going to be continuing.
Pass.
Hold on, Chris. Leon ace-7 here on the button with 16 big blinds. Leon says I'm all in, and gonna get snap called by Santiago when it comes back round to him. These two have been battling for the last 2 hours, but it looks like Santiago may have just won the battle, unless Leon can find an ace to survive. He won't mind if he busts. He'll be back tomorrow, giving himself another chance to run up a stack potentially.
Ace-7. Ace in the window.
There you go.
Boom. That's just what you need.
So Santiago hasn't won the battle just yet. Leon going to get the double. 2 outs to fade, 2 remaining jacks. And it's a 4, so A7 for Leon gets the double up. That means we're going to be into the final 3 hands.
I'm getting all twice. This is hand 4 of 6.
Hand 4 of 6.
Pass. Pass.
Pocket 2s for Chris. Will be getting involved.
Raise 2,200.
Raises to 2.2. Leon's out of the way. Phil's going to do the same on the button. And 7-8 gets out of the way, raise and take. So penultimate hand of the day, and as the dealer's riffling the deck, got some news coming in.
You have news?
I have news for
Go,
our
go, go.
listeners. I've just had some confirmation that we can do a few giveaways over the weekend.
Can we?
And we'll have our first one tomorrow at some point.
Get
so
you.
make sure you're tuned in to the stream. Free tokens being given away for the online client. So at some point tomorrow we will do first giveaway for the live stream. Get yourself a little token for the client for free.
Get you. Got a word with my mate.
Yeah. Got all the contacts now, Tower.
Got mates as well.
I'm not sure about that. We'll go that far.
Pass. Pass. Raise 2,200. Pass. Pass. Pass.
Chris raising King Jack. +2.
Pass.
Into the big blind of Daniel with the 4-5 offsuit. Lets it go, so just like that. On to the last hand.
On to the last.
Sifo, you bitter man.
Oh no, there's no need to lie, that is there?
Pineapple
You lose
crunch.
a hand, you've probably done it to everybody else in the world. you get a bad beat.
So for those that weren't listening earlier, about 2 hours ago, our mate...
And the rest.
Maybe even 3 hours ago, our mate Sifo was playing a satellite. Someone made a very bad call against him, ended up getting there, and he's been sat there on the client, anti-railing the guy, waiting for him to bust, and he's just bubbled for a seat, and Sifo's giving it the boom in the chat. He's all happy, he's jumping around.
Unbelievable techers.
Oh, God. Last hand of the day, guys.
Pass. Pass. All in. Pass.
First one is interesting.
Sorry, last hand of the day. Ashley with the ace king gets it through, and that is it for us, guys.
That is it, ladies and gentlemen. We haven't got them
there.
on the screen,
We got there.
but we might have them on the screen.
PK's on the case for us.
Grab yourself a bag.
Yes! They're all there. There we
It's all
go.
about teamwork.
On your bag.
Right at the top, look at that.
Tom Hall.
Tom.
Fantastic layout.
Oh,
We will see you again on
no,
Saturday.
and now see, meet a guy that fell in a second.
Andrew Salami second in chips. Dave Thomas in third. Spans up there, Andy back. John Mooney's had a really good day.
Yes.
Form game tower, as you say.
Gilly's still in.
Yeah, Kellett's bagged up as
Kev
well.
Allen as well. Very nice indeed. Some good names there. Big Trev, TR.
John Kelly, Matt Bushell,
Yeah.
Will McMurray, Mitch Johnson, some very notable names. Jamie Lee, someone on the cash games in 42.
Jonathan's not bitter. He's only got 19,000 to be fair. Barney Bowman makes it through with 13,100.
Didn't even know Barney was here.
Well done, Barney. Good to see him back. He's back in the UK for a while. I was speaking to him at the dinner break, so good to see him. Leon Campbell making it there, as you can see on our feature. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. We will have the chips back again tomorrow morning as we start again. We are back at 12:30. It has been a great day. Numbers increased on Thursday's day 1A from last year. Not expecting 284 for day 1B, but it still should be a cracker.
We'll be busy here tomorrow, Nick. I will
It
tell you
does.
that.
We will see you tomorrow from 12:30. Don't be late. If you tune in during the day, it will be really nice to see you. And we're on for the full 12 hours of streaming. We have a big team leader, Mr. Tom Hall. Who can catch him? Can anybody catch him? Well, you'll find out tomorrow. Thanks to Jay. Thanks to the team. We will see you for day 1B.
See you then, guys.
See you later,
Thanks for
guys.
watching.